me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like, yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone, yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. Just stop thinking about you. Just stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break, boy, you're my weakness. Giving we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like, oh yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone, yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just want to, yeah, you always make me feel like, yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone, yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. Just stop thinking about you. Just stop thinking about you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you had an excellent day to this point. Nate Ivey with you, and I'm as always, back to talk people, politics, and pleasure. And of course, this is Super Bowl weekend. You live in the city of Cincinnati. You are super excited. And we probably got some listeners that's listening from beautiful Los Angeles. I saw there was at least one chopper, one of the OGs that's in Los Angeles right now, getting ready for the Super Bowl weekend. Go Bengals, Who Dey, and all of that. Good morning to you. On today's show, it's a Friday, not a Friday, but a Friday. And so I want to kind of mix things up a little bit. Of course, I'll be giving you current events so you know what's going on in real time, but just something that's on my mind this week. And I want to kick it off by, we need to normalize judging men by a realistic standard. Not sure if you're aware of this or not. A lot of you folks are very serious-minded people, and when you get on the internet, it's all about politics and equity and stuff. But as I've said many times before, I'm a man who likes different things. I don't like to just talk about straight politics all the time. I like to talk about people, politics, and pleasure. That is my wheelhouse. That's what I do. I can't speak for anybody else. I might be on a daily basis solving the great problems before the community or solving the great problems of the Black community. And we do some of that. We solve problems. But we also talk about what's hot. And this week, there were at least 2 Black men that were on the so-called hot seat because of videos that were leaked that were of an intimate nature. Now, I'll be honest with you. I have yet to see either one of the videos of the 2 gentlemen we're going to talk about, but I don't need to see the video because I've been reading the comments. So a video was released on the Instagram of Nelly. Nelly's a big star. Hey, ladies, is Nelly in your fantasy file? Or was he in your fantasy file? I don't know. And Lil Fizz used to be a member, is that B2K? And he has an OnlyFans, and somehow a very intimate video of his body was released. And women have had a lot to say. A lot of people had a lot to say about it. Again, I have not seen either one of the videos, and I'm not really interested in seeing the videos. I don't need to see the videos to make this point. And the point is that We need to stop judging men by the size of their penis. That's why I said it. You gosh darn double standard, hypocritical ass women out there be all in your feelings when y'all get objectified, but it's okay to objectify men. That's all right. Over something that they have no control over. Yeah, I seen the memes. They were very, very, very disappointing. I'm disappointed in women. Y'all talk all this stuff about my body and normalizing being you, but you ain't gonna let a man be himself. That's the way God made those brothers. They couldn't do anything about it. So if you don't know, a video got released online. Again, I have not seen a video, but from what I read, it was of an intimate encounter with Nelly and a woman. And apparently, a lot of women that responded to what they saw were not impressed. They were not impressed from what they saw from the hip hop superstar Nelly. All over the internet. All Kelly writes harps for Nelly. Okay, really? All right. Harps for Nelly. There you go. And they let the world know. I've seen all these memes and all this chatter about this brother. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's what we're doing out here. We need to normalize judging men by realistic standards. That's what we need to normalize this week. Because some of y'all, Crystal writes, yeah, that Vienna sausage meme. I saw that meme. So disrespectful to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's a grower, not a shower. I don't know. All I know is that men, we are born with what we have. You get what you get. You don't have a fit. As simple as that. Daryl writes, my girl keeps asking, how can she see the video? I don't like that. Yeah, I feel you. Why you keep asking about this Negro's video? You don't need to see his video. Again, I have not seen the videos. I have not seen either one of the videos. And then there was a video that was released on Little Fizz. Remember, Little Fizz got into it. Well, he made headlines a few years ago because he's a rat monkey snake ass Negro who was secretly coveting his band member's girlfriend the whole time. And then when he saw an opportunity to slide in there, pun intended, he did just that. And people all over the internet this morning talking about this brother like, psh, she left him for that? What? I'm like, wait a minute, ladies, women. Y'all can be so understanding when it comes to yourself and your girlfriends. You got all the understanding in the world, but you ain't got no understanding for these brothers at all. Damn. I'm going to say it again. Stop judging men by the size of their penis. Ain't got nothing to do with that. You get what you get. You're born with it. Some have more than others. How much does that really matter anyway to grown women? Like younger women, I can see, but grown women, how important is that really? And whose fault is that? Who you going to blame? His father? He didn't get enough milk when he was younger? I don't know if that's fair or not. All I know is that all the time I'm hearing about good mental health. Now, how the hell I'm supposed to have a good mental health day? You know what I'm saying? Think about Nelly this morning. Think about how he feels this morning. You know what I'm saying? The mystery is gone. Think about how Nelly and Lil Fizz feel this morning. You hypocritical ass people out there. Some of the memes are just like, I know the internet is undefeated and it's all funny, ha ha ha, and I get it. It's that's where we go. We should have fun with it. But let's say you checked out the videos, ladies, and you were less than impressed, or you were expecting more. What you want the man to do about that? What are they supposed to do? So when men judge women by body parts, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. Don't objectify me, but it's okay for y'all to objectify us. Who is to blame? Who is to blame for this line of thinking as it relates to men and these impossible standards? Shannon writes, men make it matter. Oh, how convenient. How convenient, Shannon. Good morning to you, sis. I'm glad you're here. How convenient. I could have guessed that it's men's fault somehow. Look at Shannon. Men make it matter. So it's men's fault. It's my fault. It's men's fault. Interesting. Kamikia writes, how important is that really? What kind of question is that? It's a fair question, Kamikia. It's a very fair question. Tiffany writes, good morning. Glenn writes, morning. Nathan Choppers, hashtag, I just looked at my wrist. I got time today. F it. I'm crossing the line today. We'll cross the line. Stop judging men by the size of their penis. That's what I'm here to tell you. Because that man has no control over it whatsoever. Tony writes, what man can fill a Grand Canyon with a big mouth? I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch that. Jerica writes to Kamikia Alexander Wright. Oh, Jerica, the same one that when I said what I thought was the best two qualities in a woman jumped all over my back for years and years, Jerica. For years and years. Every time I brought that up, you were right there to jump straight in. What you trying to say? Why you gonna reduce a woman to but it's okay to reduce a man to the size of his penis? Sounds like a double standard. That's all I'm saying. Nat writes, some of us were blessed, but we ain't out here hating on the flat booty women out here. Exactly. Micah writes, good morning. These memes are absolutely disrespectful to those men. Disrespect. But again, that's what the internet's going to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what the internet's going to do. But absolutely disrespectful. We need to have this discussion on Friday morning. All the men in the chat stand over there in the right, and all the women in the chat go over there on the left. Okay, put your hammers on because we are about to clash. Set, go. Exactly. I think it's completely unfair, the judgments that I've been seeing from a lot of primarily women about these two men. And I'm here to represent for the brothers out there. All the brothers, no matter how well they're endowed or not endowed. I'm here to represent because it's not consistent. Ladies, it's not consistent. Crystal writes, can we all just get along? Yes, after we agree on this, we can all get along. Jerica writes, I did, and I still don't agree with it. No, I don't judge a man by his pole size. Okay. All right. Roots writes, LOL, this topic, it will cause disruption. It doesn't have to. It does not have to. It is not intended to. I just want to have a conversation. That's it. I just want to represent for the brothers out there who may not feel comfortable representing out there for whatever their reasons. I don't give a damn. I'm here to keep it real with you. We need to normalize judging men by a standard that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you think about what these two brothers is holding, that's what God gave them. They had no control over it. None. Some of these same women out here, if you start judging women by their body parts, oh my God, they're going to hit the roof. This is what's wrong. Black women, this is the black woman has too much pressure. The black woman doesn't like the way the black woman is built. I've heard all this stuff. All I'm saying is let's apply that to men as well. That's all I'm saying. What they say is not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. I think there's some truth to that. It's not what you have, but what you know, how you know what to use what you have. I've heard that from ladies. I believe that's all true. Size matters. I believe that's true as well. It all depends on who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got millions of tens of millions of women in the world. Somebody like it. He's Nelly. He's a big time star. Deal with it. That's right. Brandy writes, good morning, all. Lannis writes, good morning, Nathan Ivey. Good morning to you. Jenny writes, is there anything private in this world? Shaking my head. No, it's not. No, it's not. Glenn said he did a 5.5-hour Twitter Spaces. Glenn, that's way too long to be talking for free. I'm not talking for 5 hours for free. I ain't doing it. That's way too long. What in the hell are you talking about for 5.5 hours, bro? That's way too long, man. Come on, he's trying to make it through the day today. I bet you are. Cut that down to a good hour, man. Whatever you can't say in an hour, you definitely can't say in 5 hours. But again, maybe that's how Twitter spaces work. I don't know. Cass writes, we don't reduce them to the size of their penis, but the size does matter, which means that you reduce them to the size of their penis. Cass is trying to have it both ways. And again, some of the tweets, the memes, the posts that people have put up about these brothers are absolutely reprehensible. You're ridiculing these men for something that they can't control. For instance, let's say you had a woman out there, she's a star, and let's say she wasn't, she didn't really have a whole lot in the hips, or she didn't have a whole lot of breasts. If men start ridiculing a woman just because of that, women would form Voltron to her defense. I'm looking for the ladies to do the same thing for these brothers. That's it. If you flip this script and somehow it got released and it was like a woman and she was small breasted or she was small hipped or whatever the hell is the best way to describe it, women would be forming Voltron right now in defense. I'm just saying, do the same thing with these brothers. That's it. Do we put too much value on the surface, on the size of the penis? Bigger is better, right? Bigger is better in our culture. Bigger bank accounts, bigger house, bigger swimming pool. You know what I'm saying? It's in us. It's ingrained in our consciousness that bigger is better. Is that all like phallically implied or charged? Is that what it's all about? Bigger buildings, taller buildings, right? Bigger is better. Everybody wants that big SUV, right? You want your burgers to be bigger, your tacos to be big. You want the biggest portions of this, the biggest portions of that. Bigger is better in American society, right? Right? It's bigger than just the penis size. It's everything. How many, raise your hand if you want to live in a bigger house or you want a bigger bank account. I did some checking, and would you be surprised to know that the rate of penile implants has gone up significantly over the last 10 years? Because of medical advances and medical science, some of these procedures are becoming more and more like outpatient, right? And I did some checking within the last 24 hours, and I really wasn't shocked to find that the rate of penis enhancements has gone up dramatically over the last 10 years. Everybody want to be bigger, right? Because that's what the women like, right? But is that really what the women like? I talked to some women and they're like, you know what? I don't need all that. That's a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Once we hit capacity, I'm pretty much cool. You know what I'm saying? This elevator can only hold 8 people, not 10, not 12. You're pushing too much inside. So what is it? Is it a generational thing? I would like to know this morning. And I want to know if you agree with me. Is it time to stop judging men by the size of their penis? Yes, a real question. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. I don't want to see Nelly's jewels. I'm good. God bless. I know that's right. I ain't even looking for it. I don't need to look. I'm cool. Like I said, I have not seen either one of the videos and probably will never see the video. Got no interest in it whatsoever. I don't need to see the video to make this point. And this point is about you hypocritical, double standard ass women. I think you are the ones who are pushing this stuff. It ain't the men. Somebody tried to, it was Shannon, she tried to blame men. It's on y'all. Nah. How's it on us? Roots Tafari writes, bruh's got to quit putting themselves out there. Ladies, please don't judge. Dale writes, this is body shaming. Correctamundo. Daryl, you're still in my thunder. That's exactly what this is. That is exactly what this is. And we have uncovered yet another double standard where men are on the wrong side of it once again. You try to body shame a woman in today's society, mofos on the internet gonna come for you. They're going to come for you. Body shaming. But it's okay to body shame men? Isn't this body shaming? I thought body shaming was bad. I thought that was toxic. Is this an example of toxic femininity? I think it is. I think it is. I think the way that these women, and that's primarily what I've seen when I've gone online, I went on Twitter and just kind of looking at some responses, overwhelmingly women are responding. And this is an example of toxic femininity. It's exactly what it is. But do you agree? I think that Daryl is spot on 100%. Spot on 100%. Roy writes, good morning. Tony writes, when working, it's not always the size of the tool. It's how well you use the tool. Exactly. Correctamundo, Tony. At least that's what some women say. Hopefully the sound is not gone. Hopefully not. Good morning to you. Micah writes, we can't control it. And I don't have to be with him. I don't care. If he checks all the other boxes, I can't be with anyone who can't take care of business in the bedroom. Okay. That's fair. Charles writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Deshauna writes, good morning, Nathan and all. Anthony writes, man, I tell a woman I'm like a prize fighter. I'm going to try to knock you out in the first round. If you survive the first round, that's your fault. Okay. Not sure what that means. Okay. Marisha writes, I don't know what that means, bro. Marisha writes, good morning. Sister Iris is in the house. Good morning to you. Kelly Prather writes, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Men do judge black women by their assets. There's no way to escape that but men are now butthurt because women are voicing their opinions regarding their packages. Jerica, can I get you to agree that what we've seen this week with these two black men is a great example of two things? And I want to know, Jerica, I'm asking you specifically. To me, can I get you to agree that what's been happening with Little Fizz and Nelly this week is an example of body shaming, one, and two, toxic femininity? Can I get you to agree with that? Can I get you to agree with that? Can I get anybody to agree with that this morning? Because that's what I see. Victor writes, Nelly looks like he's about to start crying in that photo. That's exactly why I chose it. You're absolutely right. Brandy writes, men judge all the time. You know what? Let's not flip this on men, Brandy, because I think men have been on the short end of stick of these kind of conversations, but today is the last day for that. Gosh darn it, today we're going to take our place at the front of the line. Our feelings matter too. Gosh darn it. I know I sound lame, but I'm trying not to curse. All right? You trying to flip this? It's not about men. This is about these toxic women body shaming of men that seems to be acceptable, because you can't talk about, you got a sister got a little size on her. You can't say nothing about that. Don't you say a word. But when it comes to men and our God-given packages, oh, that's open for debate. That's open for ridicule. It's not consistent. Brandy writes, yes, bigger is better, period. Crystal writes, okay, you make a good point. Sheesh, thank you, sis, for acknowledging that. Thank you, sis. Where are you, Jerica? I'm looking at all the comments here. She writes, while the rates of penis enhancements may have increased, have you explored the increased rates of BBL procedures? It's what men want, BBL. I'm not sure what's a BBL. And look how you just going, why is it the issues of men just get pushed to the side? We got to retrain our society to think of men in a more empathetic way. Can we have some empathy, please? Gosh darn it. Cash writes, body parts can be changed. We can work out for a flatter stomach and squat for a bigger butt. He can't change his size. Some men have shrimps, but have all the audacity in the world to comment on women and judge us. Shannon writes, men are literally out here marketing BDE to make themselves appear more attractive or selectable. Is that bit energy? Crystal writes, some women like small peens. They like to control the experience. All right, then. Glenn writes, did somebody just quote Rodney King? Somebody needs an Amber Geiger hug. Akeem writes, women better stop rejecting men who drive Volkswagens versus men in Cadillacs. Dale writes, bigger size goes back to chattel slavery because they looked at us as animals. Is that right? We learned something new during Black History Month. Gladys writes, size don't matter. It's how he works with it from the OG. Anthony writes, if a bro need that for his mental fitness, so be it. No worse than women getting the girls done to feel good. I'm with you on that. Darlene writes, hello. Crystal writes, toxic femininity. Never heard of it. I bet you haven't. I bet you haven't. Because we are so comfortable examining masculinity and what people think about, even non-men, what you think about masculinity. Hell, some women judge masculinity themselves. You got women out there telling men you ain't man enough. You ain't got no testicles. You gonna tell somebody with testicles that they ain't man enough. What the hell? But we are not comfortable, nor are we conditioned to talk about the various examples of toxic femininity. I think this is one of them. Where's Jerica at? I bet she ain't gonna respond on that one. Women are damn near killing themselves getting butt enhancements trying to fit the desires of men. Okay. What happened, Little Fizz? Nothing happened. A video was released showing his private area onto social media. Really, it was on his OnlyFans, and then once it's out there, all you got to do is screenshot it. It's out there forever. And now women are judging him by what they see. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. Body shaming ain't a thing no more? Can we agree? All I'm looking for is an answer to two questions. Do you agree that the fallout, that the response to these videos of these two gentlemen that have made their way on the internet are an example of body shaming? Let's start there, because that's number one. And number two, it's an example of toxic femininity. Can I get you to at least answer that question? That's my question for you this morning. Cash writes, Nate, these are men who made careers on being sex symbols, and their content implies they were packing and had the goods. When we see they don't have, of course, we judge them. It's false advertisement. I love how we continue to blame men, right? It's Nelly's fault because he got body shamed. It's Lil Fizz's fault because he was body shamed. It's just amazing how we do that to men in our culture. Where is the empathy for men? Where is the empathy for the men? Brian writes, morning, hashtag GSW, hashtag who they? Sports sidebar. Number one, GSW's looking dope, but y'all lost to Utah recently. He had a big trade yesterday in the NBA. Ben Simmons, who is a hell of a player. I take him on my team any day. We can work on the shooting. He's got all of the skills. He's now playing for the New Jersey Nets and the Washington. Nope. Was the Washington team? No. Now Philadelphia has James Harden matching him up with Joel Embiid, who's having an incredible season. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, hashtag Who Day. Man, I've been watching all of the coverage. It's been a lot of fun with the Bengals in the Super Bowl, hasn't it? It's been a lot of fun. And I ain't even making no money off of it. But it's just been a lot of fun to go to these sports channels. They're talking about the Bengals and the matchups. I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but no matter what happens on Sunday, this new swagger that we have as Cincinnatians, no matter what happens, we need to keep that. You know what I'm saying? We need to know who the F we are and what we have as a region, what we have as a city. And the best of us is not anything that the Bengals do. That's not the best of us in Cincinnati. The best of us is household to household, neighborhood to neighborhood, citizen to citizen. That's the best of us in Cincinnati. I know on the national scale, they're just looking at Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, but that's not the best of us. That's just one aspect of what we have to offer as Cincinnati. That's just my 2 cents. Who dey, go Bengals. I don't know who's going to win. Either way, I hope it's a close game. And you know me, I hope the Bengals win. That'd be super dope. But win or lose, what are we going to do with this new Cincinnati shine? That's a little sidebar right there. All right, let's get back to the main question. Anthony writes, most women's sensitive spots aren't all the way at the bottom of the canyon. You just have to figure where they are and focus on those areas with the tool. You sound like a man who has some experience. I hear what you just said. Kevin writes, is there such a thing as toxic femininity? Why is a man asking? Don't blow my deal here. I'm setting this whole damn thing up for men, and you got the nerve to come in here and ask this kind of damn question? Gosh, darn it. Oh, Kevin, go with the flow, bro. I'm setting this whole thing up. You're going to ask this damn question. Is there such a thing as toxic femininity? Your response as a man is hell yeah, there's such a thing. You're supposed to be on my side, our side, the side of men. Damn it. I'm not even reading that crap. What's wrong with you, man? Damn. Unity, bro. Unity. Yes, there's such a thing as toxic femininity. Oh, my God. We ain't going to never get to the promised land. Anyway, Tabitha writes, y'all better vax that thing up. Where is this coming from, Tabitha? Okay. Jericho writes, toxic femininity and masculinity is a made-up concept, but that's another topic. Hold on. You're not getting that off, sis. You're not getting that off. Good try, though. Good try. Nah, you ain't gonna try that. Women could judge men for a lot more, but we don't always take y'all skinny, fat, short, tall, cute, ugly, cuted out me. Wait. I don't even know what I'm reading. This is a mouthful. Let me back up here. She writes, women could judge men for a lot more, but we don't. We take y'all skinny, fat, short. I think she means skinny, fat, short, tall, cute, ugly, cuted out men, cut it out men, cry me a river. I think I understand. And we take y'all the same way. But you're not going to do that. Look at what Jerica tried to do. Look at what she tried to do. You see in the first sentence there? She's going to try to throw toxic masculinity in with toxic femininity. Everybody know that our culture has legitimized the conversation about toxic masculinity. Everybody knows that. We've had many conversations. Is this or is it not toxic masculinity? What does that even mean? Are women in a place to say this or not? We've had these conversations. So don't try to slide that in there and try to delegitimize my point this morning. I see you, sis. I see you working against us. No. Our society has completely legitimized the conversation about toxic masculinity. Okay. Well, the other side of that is we should have more conversations about toxic femininity. And I think we stumbled upon one. I think this conversation about these brothers and the reaction we saw primarily from women on the internet is a worthy conversation. This is body shaming, just so you don't know. I mean, just so you know if you don't. And if you don't know, now you know. This is body shaming 101. This ain't no different than conversations. People put up a photograph of a sister and maybe she's built a little differently than what people think she should be, and they want to criticize her, and then people will come in and say, no, that's body shaming. We ain't going to do that. Where are the women to stand up for me or stand up with me in this point right now? I know you feel me. Let's go to the phone, shall we? Good morning and welcome to the show.
Brother Nathan, it's Kev on the cell calling you from, I would say sunny California, but it's 5 a.m. and it's pitch black outside. Who they, bro? Who they?
Are you in California right now?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. All I see is Cincy fans, man. It's all about who they everywhere.
Really?
That's all I'm seeing. Who they.
Really? That's great to hear.
Yeah. I'm in Newport Beach. But I demand satisfaction, sir. You did not finish my comment. And had you finished my comment, then you would have understood the oxymoronic nature of it. The women make up this concept. Not make up, I'm sorry, develop. And that's fair. So they developed this concept of toxic femininity, right? Which, to be honest,
masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. I apologize. They develop the concept of toxic masculinity, which is valid. There is a toxic masculinity. It has been used wrong, and so now it's applied to everything masculine, which to me is just men shaming, period, and that ain't cool. But they develop an actual concept, right? So now, can you hold them to the standard of what they developed? Of course you can. Of course you can, sir. Of course you can. It is dead wrong for you to tell a man the same way that if I see a young lady walking down the street and and I say to her, she's fine for a big woman, right? Because that ain't cool. That's a backhanded comment. You know what I'm saying? The same way as you say that is if you say anything about my man Nelly or anybody else. Y'all, dead wrong. Dead wrong. So, sir, I demand my pound of flesh.
Okay.
Which will be a big hoo day on Sunday when we take this win. On a more serious note, though, I wish people would stop misusing that term toxic masculinity. I mean, I know some toxic dudes. I do, flat out. You know what I mean? It's like, you're a chauvinist. You really are, and that's a real thing. But it's few and far between, man. For the most part, especially for our brothers, most of the guys I know are good, faithful, companions to their mates, because men never cheat, bro. They never cheat.
Black men don't cheat. That's right.
Black men don't cheat, bro. Yeah, don't lump me in with the bad cold, bro. I refuse to be lumped in with that segment of the population. And Jerica, you dead wrong. Dead wrong. Just come on and fess up, say what's truth, and you just need to say the truth. It's toxic femininity. How dare y'all go against the folks who are possibly a little bit less endowed? That don't mean nothing. They have other great qualities. They don't have to be held to just that one standard. It's not fair. Folks should be nicer, man. Anyway, man, I gotta leave with one last great who days. We about to win this thing, man. There's enough fans here to do it at least. Be blessed, Nate.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. That's Kev clarifying things. He's not a traitor to men everywhere. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. I didn't fully read his comment. Glad to hear it. Look at this out here. Look at what's out here about this brother, our dear brother Nelly. Our dear brother Nelly. Somebody then put his face on a Vienna sausage can. Now, why is that funny? What's the relevancy here? How is this not toxic femininity? Some women will say out of one side of their mouth, size don't matter. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean. And then y'all think this kind of ish right here is funny. Why is this not body shaming? Why is this allowed? Where is the ref? Where you at with this? Where you at with this, Jerica? Where you at with this? Dale writes, Avtab was on Morning Joe today with Mayor of LA. Is that right? Dope. Avtab Pureval is making the city of Cincinnati look better just by being there. Just by standing there. And when he opens his mouth, he makes his look and sound even better. Way better than the former mayor John Cranley ever could have done. He never could have done that. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't look as good. Let's keep it real. And when he opened his mouth, he definitely didn't sound as good. I'm expecting big things. Cincinnati is on a rise. It ain't just the Bengals. Cincinnati is on the rise. No matter what happens on Sunday, we got to keep this same energy. Everybody loving being from Cincinnati. We know who the F we are. We know who the F what we have. We got something special here. No matter what happens, you know me, I'm going to keep that same energy no matter what, because that's just who me is, who we is naturally here. But I'm just saying the rest of Cincinnati, outside of our little intellectual bubble, our little oasis here, keep that same energy. Cincinnati's on the rise, period, in every way. We that city. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Where are we at here? Let me see. Jericho writes, no, sir. White culture created toxic masculinity, and as usual, some blacks jump on board. Is that right? I think it was female culture. Roots Tafari writes, preach, Nate. TNT writes, are we doing nominations for the ugliest penis awards? I place a vote for Little Fizz. How in the hell did April settle for that? My sis right here, that's my sister TNT, but she is so wrong. TNT, you are so wrong. Ugliest penis awards. Y'all, all y'all got to do is show up at the party. That's it. Y'all ain't got to grow. Y'all don't got to have no chemical reactions producing erections. How dare you? How dare you? We're not judging men by some kind of standard like that. We don't do that. We're far too enlightened. And your last question about April, I don't know. I don't know how she can settle. I didn't see anything. I don't know what I don't need to know. I don't want to see all of that. What I saw were these disgusting displays of male body shaming that everybody thinks is funny. But when it's a woman, it's the worst thing literally that could ever happen. And it threatens the culture that women live and work in every single day. But when it's a man, we just got to deal with this. Jericho writes, false information. Women did not develop the toxic masculinity concept or criteria. Okay. Well, then who did then, Jericho? Who did? Nat writes, Kev trying to get back in good graces. Nah, he clarified what he had to say. Susan writes, Rat Kevin, toxic femininity is a false equivalent with toxic masculinity, i.e. reverse racism, oxymoron, much. I'm not sure. Jericho writes, poor little tink tink. See, that's another little example. That's another little example right there. That's another little example of what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that I can open a pathway to your brain this morning. Have you look at things a little bit differently. Poor little tink tink. Body shaping. That's body shaming shade right there. That's what that is, Jericho. Poor little tink tink. Little tink tink, huh? I see where you're going with that. Chris writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Chris. Micah writes, I didn't watch the video, but apparently it's accurate. What's accurate, Micah? What's accurate? Cass writes, she's got a prayer to the Lord. Dear Lord, these men you sent us have small peens, and they be calling us into morning talk shows, lying on women. Make it make sense, God. Amen. You are too funny for that. That is hilarious. Shannon writes, say that. I feel like the women are ganging up on me. Tanya writes, lawsuit against Snoop Dogg for alleged sexual assault in 2013. Interesting timing right before the Super Bowl after he just brought Death Row Records. You're right. The timing of it is probably a part of it. Whoever is behind this lawsuit found out that he was going to be going before the Super Bowl halftime. Is probably set up. I don't know any of the details. But it's probably the timing of it is to put some pressure on him, probably to settle. Like, look, you want this to go away or you want me to get loud right before the Super Bowl, right? That kind of thing. And I am aware he just bought Death Row Records. And, I did see that. That's cool. I mean, I just don't think that record companies are all that important anymore. You know what I'm saying? There was a time when, like, being a part of Death Row Records meant something, and being on Bad Boy meant something because you were part of this mystique and this culture. But I don't think we have those times anymore. Like, nobody cares about record labels anymore. Hey, you got artists out there independent, and they start their own record labels. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't think. I think Young Money had an opportunity when they was amassing, and again, we talk about Omarion. He was with Young Money for a hot second, and he jumped off because the money wasn't coming through, right? But Young Money was like the last time I remember people getting really excited about like a roster or like being associated with a label. And look how that worked. Save for one or two, maybe three people at the most. We don't even know about these cats anymore. So, okay, and again, Snoop bought Death Row Records. Yeah, but what made Death Row Records so hot was Dr. Dre producing. So Death Row Records without Dr. Dre, it's just, I don't know. Now, is there some nostalgia? Yeah, it certainly is. Do people know that label name? Absolutely. Sure. I'm sure that's worth, I don't know, 10, 20, 30,000 hits just off the strength of it. But what's going to really make the new Death Row Records worth listening to is going to be the quality of the music they produce. So we'll have to wait and see. It's a lot of super producers out there. We'll have to wait and see. Brian writes, if they're shaming Adele for being toxic, they're going to be most definitely call us male toxics for any little thing, literally and figuratively. Can't be a proud male anymore, right? When you proud to be a man in some cases, or it's just a man being a man, I don't know. I'm struggling for an example right now, but I'll just say it feels like, men get criticized just for being men. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Jericho writes, what's a cute penis? I'll leave that to the lady choppers to decide. I'm not in that conversation. Nat writes, the pic is hilarious, but I don't condone it, LOL. I haven't seen it. Jericho writes, men want us with fat butts, flat stomach, with wet yaya, quit acting. Jericho, you have yet to answer my question. I'm going to ask it one more time. Okay. I'm asking you, Jericho, and all of the women and the people of the Chop Shop. I want to know if you agree with me. In my opinion, the fallout from the story concerning these two gentlemen here, right? These two fine gentlemen. You got Nelly there on the left and Little Fizz. Both of them this past week have had scandals surrounding videos of their genitalia that was released online. In Nelly's case, he said he was hacked, and he apologized to the woman because that would have been super foul. Here you are being intimate with a woman, you videotape it, then you put that online. That's a red card, bro. Right? And then I don't know who's in control and didn't even know he had an OnlyFans, but apparently Lil Fizz has an OnlyFans account. And I guess he put sexy pics for women and men who into that kind of stuff, and accidentally posted a video of himself. And women have gone crazy with the memes. Look at this. Here's just like one example of what I've shown. Look at this. Disrespectful. Body shaming. This is an example of body shaming and toxic femininity. Agree or disagree? Tabitha writes, America created penis envy, not us. Huh? What? Brandy writes, exactly. Men judge all day. Tiffany writes, I saw the Nelly video. People are overreacting. It was average size. Nothing for him to be ashamed of. Is that right? But it just goes to show in our culture. I don't know what people were expecting from Nelly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he was giving out some of that BDE, that big, energy. And so when they saw the real thing, it didn't max up to the energy or something like that. I don't know. I'm asking you. I have no idea. Crystal writes, hacks, sure. The kid writes, it's hot in here. Brandy writes, Lil Fizz needs to close that account. TNT writes, I used to hear harps when I saw Nelly. Now I hear a try. You're wrong for that. TNT, your comments are making it worse, not better, sis. You're making it much worse. Exactly what I'm talking about. Betting public sports show rights. The young woman in Nelly's video was sued for revenge porn and lewd and insidious behavior. It's coming like Nelly prop. What? I'm not reading that. What? I'm not reading that. Ray writes good risings all. Fox writes rise and shine young stars. Sharp writes TGIF Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Ashley writes good morning Nathan and the Choppers. Happy Friday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see everybody. I'm not a Bengals fan, and I definitely am not trying to hear about city energy when there's homelessness that barely gets addressed and low-income housing. I understand. So she's saying let's focus on the real stuff. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that 100%. I'm with you 100%. I'm just hoping that as much as possible, all this shine and energy that's coming to the city because of the Super Bowl appearance will lead to positive things that will trickle down and everybody can. I mean, this is just a part of the Renaissance of Cincinnati. This is just one more thing that will contribute to the Renaissance of Cincinnati, speaking about the Bengals. But as I stand here, I don't know if the Bengals win. I don't know if that's going to translate to money coming to our table. Like, is it going to translate into money coming into the region? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Already has. It definitely will. But what we're going to get a chance to see potentially is if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, what does that really mean for Cincinnati? Like, what does that mean for a host NFL city? Does that mean that the city's getting positive visibility? Yes. But how does that translate into, everyday average Cincinnatians? Does the money hit the kitchen table? Is that more money for groceries? Is that going to help us in any way deal with affordable housing, or is that going to make the housing go up? You got landlords out there right now that's, I don't know if the right term is price gouging, but they're certainly taking advantage of the environment that we're living in right now. Certainly. You got people getting evicted because landlords want to increase the rent by $200-300 a month. Whole people getting set out because the landlord knows that the property owner knows he can get more money per month. And they're doing it. Nothing they can do to stop it. So if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, we can already judge the Bengals won the AFC Championship, okay? This has happened. What does that mean for Cincinnati exactly? And what's the trickle-down effect? Because it's going to lead to more money coming into the city. Absolutely. People are going to want to visit Cincinnati more. You'll probably have some national conferences that'll give Cincinnati a second look. Like, you know what? Let's think about Cincinnati. I love me some Joe Burrow. Yeah, let's go to Cincinnati for a conference. That'll definitely happen. No doubt. But is that going to have a trickle-down effect for average Cincinnatians? We're going to find out. Dave Zirin wrote a piece many years ago. He's a writer. You can check his work out at edgeofsports.com. And he writes about the intersection of race and politics and sexism and the history of race and racial equity. Super dope. Prolific writer. He's got numerous books. I got a bunch of them back there. I got a whole Dave Zirin section that I'm very proud of. But he wrote a piece many years ago, and he did a little bit of research. And what he found, or should I say his conclusion, was that when an NFL host city wins a championship, that, money's to be made, but it's the same old people making money. It doesn't really trickle down to the people. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're already finding out. I don't know. Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. TGIF. Absolutely. Most def. Trickle-down economics, even as it relates to the Bengals Super Bowl victory, is a fairy tale push by so-called conservatives. I agree with you. Rooster Fire writes, y'all ladies are cold. Yeah, women are real cold. Women are some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Women are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Biggest hypocrites on the planet. Especially when it comes to this whole like body shaming thing. Like women will do ish to men that when it happens to women, they're ready to get into their bag about. Big bag of feelings all the way. Let me see. David writes, if you're a new listener to the Nathan Ivey Show, the chopper suggests waiting a week before commenting. You will understand. I can understand why you want to know the lay of the land, who's who, what's what, that kind of thing. I get it. Brent writes, good morning, checking in from Dallas, Texas. Good to see you, Brent. I used to hear harps. So wrong for that. Will all this new energy and money be given to Black incubators to help small businesses or those that want to start a business without the hoops? I think there's a lot of energy in terms of promoting and investing in in entrepreneurship in general. And specifically Black entrepreneurs. You've got several well-known incubators. You've even got like a Black-led incubator here. I think it's called Hillman. Of course, we know about Mortar. You know what I'm saying? That's Black-led. They've worked and helped with a lot of different people and shit who are still making money, still in business many years afterward. I would have to say that I hope so. I'll put it that way. Tanika writes, I just need these people to start recording every darn thing. Well, you know, there's nothing wrong with recording. Men are visual. Men like pictures and videos and all those kind of things. The problem is when you post it. The problem is when you post it. That's what the real problem is. And Lil Fizz, you know, every man thinks he's got a big penis no matter who he is, right? Every man thinks that. So part of me feels like Lil Fizz is probably thinking, I'm holding. Go ahead and put this out here. Start me a little buzz. Start a little buzz about Lil Fizz, right? He probably got some women in his ear just blowing his head up. So he looking down thinking, I'm the man. So he put that online and got a different response. That's what I'm thinking happened. Because all this stuff about, I mistakenly put it on. How'd that happen? Like, yeah, I got all kind of stuff on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm married. I got all kind of stuff on my phone. But I've never mistakenly, like, put something on my website or put something on Facebook. I mean, you know, you got it in certain files. How do you mistakenly upload a picture like that? You just got to be careful. Everybody got that kind of stuff on their phone. Or should I say most people got stuff on their phone like that, right? Good morning to you. Marsha writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Good morning to you. Brent writes, the soft middle strikes again, attacking Black women. What Black woman hurt you at your core? TNT writes, nope. You ain't feeling none of that, huh? Mona writes, mine went up $450. You talking about your rent? Yeah, that's what's happening. You got a lot of that going on right now. And like I said, you got nonprofits that's working diligently trying to connect people with some of that CARES Act money. And what's happening is it's just a lot of pressure. You got like property owners that's evicting people even while the application process is going on and the money's in the, you know, basically in the mailbox because they feel like they can get more money. Like, you know, it's every man for themselves out there in that market. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Nathan? It's Alicia Reese. How are
Alicia.
you?
I'm doing well. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. I heard the tail end of what you were saying. You're absolutely right. It is getting very tough, and a lot of these funds are starting to, you know, be utilized. I just got a meeting yesterday with Jobs and Family Services director Patton, and he was talking about, some of those dollars, at least the dollars that are at the county level, they're coming, close to, we've gotten a lot of it out. So looking at trying to get that backlog cleared up, but also looking at the fact that, we are coming to a point where we've got to look at a lot of those dollars have been out the door. But you raised a lot of great issues, and things have gotten very complicated in terms of that. And the staffs are working hard trying to work through those issues. So you're absolutely right on that. Just wanted to call in to thank everybody. I got a lot of calls and support and everything for, we're getting so excited. We're just, man, I can't believe how close we are to winning the Super Bowl. I'm so excited about it. The whole city is on fire. Everybody is orange and black, and it's just a great thing to see. And of course, the story of the Bengals, which to me is the most important part. A lot of the players on the team, many of them have their own stories of how they were told either they weren't good enough, or they had to transfer. Joe Burrow had to transfer from Ohio State to LSU. Chase was told that, the position that he plays, he could never play that position. This is a team of resiliency. And the thing that I like about it is the story of many of your listeners' lives and my life, maybe not on the football field, but the adversity that many of us have had to overcome in order to, just be able to excel or try to excel in our various fields. So that's what I really relate to the most with a lot of the players and the team. And even with all of that, they say, hey, we're going to stay focused. And even when no one thought they were championship material, they had to believe that they were championship material themselves. So we're so excited about it and everything. And I want to thank all the people who had called my office and hit us up social media wise on the idea of having a watch party. I still believe that was a very great idea, and wanted to just update folks on kind of, what happened. We will not have a watch party in Paul Brown Stadium. I thought it was a great idea. It's a publicly financed stadium. We, the taxpayers pay for it, and all of upkeep and all of that. In fact, there's a proposal on her desk right now from the administrator for Wi-Fi that we'll have to be voting on after the Super Bowl, upgrading the Wi-Fi, and the bill was $8 million. That will, and so I just thought it would be a great opportunity to give back to the fans, give back to the taxpayers with something that would be free inside of Paul Brown Stadium. And ultimately, there were, we wanted to do it for the AFC Championship, and we kept telling us we can't do it, we can't do this, we can't do that. And it pushed back to, the Super Bowl. They said that we didn't have enough time. And so we knew the Super Bowl would be tougher than the AFC Championship game. But we said, let's move forward. And this is something that brought together everybody. I mean, I had, it didn't matter your race, you're black, you're white, young, old, millennials, senior citizens. They all said, hey, this would have been fantastic. And there were just a lot of things that kept coming up of why we couldn't do it. And, I'm a can-do person. And ultimately, at the end, it went all the way to the NFL, because I said I got to see something in writing. So it came back from the NFL that we could not do it because they wanted, they got ratings and those kind of things. Now, obviously, we said, okay, but, moving forward in the future, that's something that we need to be looking into, because, the NFL, we pay for this stadium. And, we've got to have not just our city, but other cities, they've had similar, I guess, situations. So that's something for after the Super Bowl. But I just wanted to let people know it was just, we did have a fantastic pep rally. I did talk to the ownership of the Bengals. So I did talk to them on behalf of the taxpayers and the fans. And we did have a wonderful pep rally. Now, let me be clear. The pep rally did not have to be in Paul Brown Stadium. You saw the Rams. They were in a high school stadium and only had 3,000 people that showed up. And during our meeting at the county commission, I'm pushing the envelope. And when you push the envelope, a lot of times everybody doesn't like that because they say, hey, we want to do what we've been doing for 30 or 40 years. And the reason that I believe that I was elected by over 200,000 people was that we wanted to shake it up. We wanted to open the process, and we wanted to be transparent, and we want to do some things differently. And so that's what I've been pushing to do. Now, there will be resistance. People don't just hand over the keys and say, yes, do it different. There will be resistance, and I have experienced that. If you turn on YouTube, Hamilton County Commission meetings, or Facebook, you'll see that there is resistance because we got a difference of philosophy. My philosophy is I'm about empowering the people. I'm not about empowering the establishment or big business. And I have seen in my 1 year down there when big business all of a sudden we stop what we're doing, we rush it through, we change the rules, and we have very few questions from my colleagues on the commission. When the people come, we got a whole bunch of questions. Let me give you an example. When the people said, let's have this watch party, I was questioned by at the county commission meeting. Number one, they said, will anybody be interested in going in Paul Brown State? We don't think so. Number two, they said, if we're going to, one of my colleagues said, we're going to do it, we got to have a mask mandate. And we got to have a vaccination card mandate. And I want to see that you had a test done in the last 2 weeks. That's when the people brought it. Now, a week later, we do it in the stadium. Nobody asked our opinion, but we did have some county workers there. It is the stadium that we oversee. It does belong to the people. So somebody had to approve it happening there. And it was the same identical thought of a watch party. And all of a sudden my colleagues had zero questions. They were down there with no mask. Nobody was asking for a vaccination card. Nobody was putting their foot down. Wasn't nobody talking about, well, what's happening for the restaurants? None of that. So it's a philosophy difference. I want to just explain that. So when you see it on YouTube or you see it on Hamilton County, we have a difference of opinion. When I come down there, I'm coming down there for the people first. There's others that believe I'm going to go with the administration first. And it's just like with the 30% rebate. We could get up to 30% on property taxes, but the administration said they only wanted 10%. And they would have maybe went along with it. There was no questioning. I questioned it and then brought it back, and we were able to get 30%. But these are the kinds of things. And I did believe that, the workers, we've been working our people hard. You just talked about it. Working hard, working overtime. My office be working overtime with the bus. I had people out there on Saturdays. And, my staff been working Saturdays, Sundays, and different things. And I said, well, let's give the employees a break. Over 20 school districts, including Cincinnati Public Schools, has already let the kids out. So now the parents got to scramble. I said, well, let's let our employees who've been working overtime out. And they said, well, and again, it was resistance. They willing to do a proclamation, willing to, and even in our own offices. Some of our, I don't see our offices open all the time. I mean, mine's be probably overworking. They be getting mad at me. Why are we working? And I'm looking at these other offices is closed. And so it's just the hypocrisy is amazing. And we've got to have confidence in ourselves and confidence in the people. And by it being Black History Month, I just think, I went to a Black college where I saw Black people in charge. The Black people were president of the university, not president of diversity and inclusion. They're president of the university. They're president of athletics. They are the athletic directors. They are the coaches. They are the assistant coaches. They are the trainers. They are, the deans. I've seen all this. So I don't have a mentality that we're less than. And I don't have a mentality that if something is brought up, happen to be brought up by an African American, and it's a good idea and it's solid, I don't think less than that person. So I come from an empowerment thought pattern. Maybe everybody don't come from that pattern. And I don't believe that, we don't have good answers and good ideas. So I just want to say you will see some struggles. Watch it on television, because I got to go down there and struggle, because there is a difference of thought. The county for many years has operated as a pass-through ATM with very few people even knew what the county was doing. So if you wanted to get something done, you run it through the county. And it used to be controlled by all Republicans, but I don't think it's a Republican or Democratic issue now, because, some things ain't really changed. And they only going to change if you challenge the system. We still got the same administration. We got the same people that's been working there, and we got the same mindset. And I'm working on trying to change the mindset. I'm not interested in the sprinkles on the cupcake. I'm interested in how do we rebake the recipe to make sure that everyone's included in the recipe. And this idea was something that was not black or white. It was orange and black. And I think that it would have been a great thing. But because we did challenge, then Monday opened up. It became bigger. It didn't end up like what they had in California in the high school arena with only 3,000 people. It ended up being 30,000 people. So all the questions they asked, number one, will anybody come? It was answered on Monday, 30,000. Will this be able to help the restaurants? Restaurants were saying they was packed and jamming on Monday with 30,000 fans come. Can we put something together like this in a short period of time? It was put together in a short period of time because we didn't know the Bengals was going to the Super Bowl. So it was the same amount of time that we would have had to have done this. Can we do festival seating in the stadium and not have a WHO incident? We had festival seating, and we didn't have a WHO incident. So all of those kinds of things, because I pay attention. What are you saying? And we can't jump up, and we got to have the game by one set of rules, and I'm fighting for that. We can't have one set of rules when the business community comes, and all of a sudden we grinning, we falling over ourselves, we spending money like crazy, and then when it says, well, let's do something for the people. Well, how much is going to cost? We need to be fiscally responsible. I done seen some of the most fiscally irresponsible stuff that you want to see down there. We got right now. I voted against it. I'm the only person that voted against it. The Millennium Hotel, the Port Authority had to go to court and they lost. This public information is out there. They got a $5 million judgment against them. They had legal fees. They came back. The judge said that the county has no responsibility. We did not get sued, nor are we held accountable to pay this. The administrator came and presented $600,000 to pay the legal fees for the Port Authority that we were not obligated for. My two colleagues voted yes. I voted no, and they had no question. Now we talk about, hey, why don't we let the workers have a day off? I mean, they've been working their butts off, have a day off. Now we want to, we done got the numbers, and we want to be fiscally responsible. We cannot be fiscally responsible for the big business and fiscally irresponsible when it comes to the taxpayers. So anyway, just want to tell everybody that's what really went on. Try to keep y'all updated on it. And watch it on YouTube, Hamilton County, or you can go to my page, Commissioner Alicia Reese, and you can see it live for yourself. You can see who said what, when they said it, when they speak up and when they don't speak up. And if you watch the video, every time I say something, every time, they want to challenge it. But then when they say something, they got no challenges for each other. It's on you. The good thing is it's on YouTube. So, and what is that about? That's about the fact that I'm coming in and saying, let's do some things a little bit different. And I'm okay with that. That's what it is. When you're challenging the system, there will be resistance, there will be obstruction, and you just gotta, keep fighting. And it's a difference of opinion, and everybody has a right to their opinion. But I wanted the people to know why I asked for the workers to be off and why I asked for the watch party. And at the end of the day, we did get this pep rally. We did have 30,000 people in the stands, and we did have it free inside of the publicly funded Paul Brown Stadium.
Hey, Alicia, one quick question. I know that through this process, you uncovered that the county has county days, which how many county days are we supposed to have, and do you have any plans? Do the county commissioners have any plans on using them next season?
So we have certain county days that can be used. I don't have my contract in front of me, so I'm not going to give the exact number of days. But there are days that when they don't have a game inside of Paul Brown Stadium or practice. We also have a special event clause in there as well. I brought this up about maybe 2 months ago. Well, no, December. December, there was something that they needed us to consider for the stadium. And I said, before I do that, I need to see the contract. So when I read the contract, I got a 3-hour meeting presentation on it because I wanted to understand it. And I brought up county days, and they seemed to be shocked. The administration was shocked about the clause that I found myself. So we're going to look into that now and see, why haven't we used these days? We also could be making more money off of the stadium, more than 19 uses a year, whatever, because we also have another clause for special events that the taxpayers, we're supposed to be getting 50% of any type of rentals. And that's more money that we could bring in. So I talked with the administration, and after this, we're supposed to be getting more information. But it's very hard to do these things when my colleagues say, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with them. And then every time I show up, I got questions. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And if you got two people saying, do whatever you want, we don't care, we'll be a rubber stamp, it's hard to raise the questions. But I am going to raise the questions, and it's a public document. It's in this contract, and I want to let you know that there will be a renegotiation. This contract getting ready to expire, so there has to be another renegotiation, and all of these questions has got to be answered. And right now, I'm reading the Great American Ballpark contract. Because I think if we're going to be in office, we need to read these contracts and understand. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're overseeing contracts. So we can't not have seen a contract. We can't not have been in Paul Brown Stadium. I mean, I've been to the game. So I knew that. I'm not just going into Paul Brown Stadium for the first time looking around. We got to be in these, if we're going to be the people representing you on the contract side. We can't just turn it over to the lawyers and turn it over to the administrator, and then we just become a rubber stamp. It just cannot be that way. So we're looking into it. There are several county days. We have not used any. So we had plenty available for this because we didn't use any of them. But we need to look at this contract and any contract going forward. It's got to be ironclad in all of this stuff because there's a lot of things in these contracts in the fine print. For example, the World Cup. Everybody, oh man, the World Cup. I'm for the World Cup too. But then I want to get to the specifics. Who will pay for it? How much will it cost? You can't say I'm willing to pay anything for the World Cup, but you're not willing to open up the stadium when the people say, hey, can we come in there and have a watch party? You got a whole lot of rules. You got a whole lot of standards. And then next thing I know, I see you up there dancing around with no mask after you on TV telling people we got to have a mask mandate. I mean, we got to be real, and so those are the things that I think are important. There's a clause in the contract for Paul Brown Stadium dealing with anything dealing with soccer. There's a fee on that. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's in the contract. There's a fee that we would have to pay to even have the World Cup down there. Not to mention, we got to tear up the stadium. We got to tear it up and retrofit it for whatever the needs are for the World Cup. So I try to get into the fine print. I try to read the contract and ask the question. And I mean, it's already known I'm not going to be no rubber stamp. I won't be a rubber stamp. And I will keep fighting for the people. And sometimes we're going to win, and sometimes we might lose, but sometimes losing is actually winning. Sometimes losing is winning because you find out where everybody stands. Sometimes losing is winning because We come back, now we got a pep rally, and they open it up big in Paul Brown Stadium, and not be like the Rams was in some high school with 3,000 people. Sometimes winning, sometimes losing is winning, because now everybody know there's county days, and now we got to look at how can we utilize some of these days. So sometimes losing is winning. Now the employees, the workers, know who really standing with them and who ain't standing with them. They know now. No more talking about we really appreciate the workers. But then when it's time to do something real for the workers, we then make terrible statements. So sometimes losing is winning. And that's what we learned in Black history from a lot of people who was in the fight. Sometimes we lost, but sometimes the loss was a win because it woke people up. And my goal is to educate people about how county government works, what's down there, what should be happening, what's not happening, and then how do we make the change for it to happen. Now, getting things done, I've got a lot of things done. Get my report to the people. You can call my office and get a copy, 946-4401. We got a whole lot of stuff done. 4,000 people help with the bus. We got a Black Music Walk of Fame coming. We got 30% tax rebate, only one other time that's been done in history. So we got a lot of things done, but then there's other things we didn't get the votes. But now you know where people stand. Now we don't woke people up. Now we're looking at different things. Now we're raising the questions so that these things hopefully could be changed in the future.
Hey, Alicia, speaking of raising questions, somebody wants to know, or they're asking me about a vote about a lifetime contract. Was there a recent vote about a lifetime contract with the county or something like that?
Yeah, there wasn't a recent vote, but what I found out is there were 4 prior county commissions before I got down there. They put in place things that are lifetime. For example, on the banks, Messer has a lifetime management contract. So they would have to manage all the projects down there that are county projects. THP has a lifetime architect. They got to do all the architect down there. And what I mean by lifetime, there's no end date. It says when the banks is finished. Well, the banks ain't never going to be finished because it keeps getting more phases. Now they're talking about a refresh. And when I brought it up, one of my colleagues got on there, well, it's fine for them to have that. We want to keep continuity. When I brought up that we spent $16 million in the fourth quarter to upkeep the 2 stadiums and only $1,400 went to Black-owned businesses, only $1,400 went to Black-owned businesses, it hurt me when I saw someone, one of my colleagues that looked like me and said, well, maybe they wasn't qualified. Where they didn't find no Black qualified business. Y'all need to, well, the good thing is we on YouTube. It used to be at the county you could get away with this stuff. It was never really televised. We didn't know when the meetings were. It was not on YouTube. It was bad quality. If you didn't have cable, you couldn't see it. But now you can see it for yourself. You can hear what they're saying for yourself. You can make your own decision now. I fought hard for us to be on YouTube. I fought hard for us to be on Zoom so that we can have the technology and you can see what is really happening. But it's been tough. I mean, we've got, I even tried to get diversity with the legal representation on the bank. And I was told by the administrator, your 2 colleagues didn't want to go with it. They want to stay with the same lawyer that's got over $20 million and already it has $1.3 million in this budget. They didn't want to, said they wanted to keep the continuity. I didn't say get rid of the person. I said, well, can we bring in diversity? A joint thing with so that we could have some diversity of thought. And he said my colleagues didn't want it. So that's the kind of stuff that we are dealing with. And when we get elected, we got to go in there and not just change our nameplate, not just, hire our 2 people that we get to hire. We're supposed to go in there and it should feel like something has changed. And I'm not saying everything ain't changed, but there's a lot to be done when it comes to these big deals that come in. When they come in, it's like, just like that convention district. Here it is, just rubber stamp it. We don't care. And you didn't even look at the scope of work and understanding that the resolution is not a scope of work. The scope of work is the contract. And then we put in a resolution that we want the administrator, this is in the resolution, and put him by name. We want the administrator, Jeff Aludo, to negotiate the contract with inclusion. The same man, no offense to him, but he's been the administrator for over 10 years. The same man that gave me, when I asked him for diversity, he gave me the results, $16 million just in the fourth quarter to do the 2 stadium upkeeps, and only $1,400 went to minority businesses. But we put him in a resolution and say we're just going to give it to him and hope that he will negotiate diversity. We don't want to deal with it. Come on. That ain't what the people elected us to do. So, down there to get stuff done, you got to get 2 votes. But I had to get 212,000 plus votes to come down there. And when I'm down there, it's not shutting me down. You just shut me down because the people already put me in. You're shutting down the people that voted for me, that told me to go down there and open up these books and read these contracts and expose what's going on and try to make the change to have inclusion and equity and make sure all the taxpayers can participate. That's the thing. And, this, like I said, this, even this watch party, I mean, people are still challenging. What the NFL? But I say, hold it. We'll wait till after the Super Bowl to deal with this. Right now, we got to win the Super Bowl, and that's what we're focused on. But those are the things, but you can see it for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go to YouTube, Hamilton County. You can go to my page, Commissioner Alicia Reese, for County Commissioner. I put everything live, unedited, uninterpreted, and you can see and hear the people yourself and make your own decision.
All right, Alicia, thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you so much. And I want to thank New Prospect Baptist Church Senior Citizens. I'm headed to be with the senior citizens. We go kick off our Super Bowl party with the seniors up at New Prospect Baptist Church Senior Center. So who they? Let's do it.
All right. I'm with you. That's Alicia Reese. Very interesting. Took the conversation in another direction because we were talking about something with a bit more sizzle in it. I give you that. But still, I think very interesting. And it sounds as if there might be a schism between herself and the other 2. They're all women, all Democrats, but they may have different philosophies. So interesting. Worth going on YouTube and checking it out. I'm glad it's on YouTube. Very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm with you, Sister Iris. Lifetime contracts. How you get a lifetime contract? Until the banks are finished. The banks will never be finished. They'll never be finished. They'll always be growing and expanding it and adding it. A lifetime contract? That's crazy. She said $16 million spent, only $1,400 went to minority. That includes Black-owned firms for the yearly upkeep of the Bengal Stadium. That's a travesty. That needs to be dealt with. Interesting. Very interesting. I appreciate the conversation. But again, what I would say is we've been talking about earlier, we was talking about BDE, right? We never talk about GPE. We talk about BDE, but we never talk about GPE. Who comes up with it? Who created the term big, energy? Why can't it just be confident? Like, why has it got to be linked to the size of a man's penis? Getting back to our earlier conversation. You never hear anybody say GW energy. Never heard that before, but it is what it is. Speaking of energy, my point is, no matter what happens on Sunday, Cincinnatians, I need you to do one thing. Keep that same energy. All this energy around us right now, everybody feeling Cincinnati. Everybody got their chest out, proudly saying I'm from Cincinnati. Everybody from Cincinnati. Now, everybody loves Cincinnati because the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. But what I'm here to tell you is that our self-esteem and the best part about Cincinnati is not the Bengals. It's us. Each and every one of us born and raised in the city of Cincinnati, and maybe you're a transplant and you love this region and you bring in whatever your God-given talent is to help enrich the region and help your fellow man, help thy neighbor. That's what makes this city what it is. Okay, so no matter what happens on Sunday, we need to keep that same energy. Jericho writes, BDE created by a female rapper. You know what BDE is, but not BBL. Things that make you go, Yes. Yes. Earlier we were talking about BDE because that's why a lot of women were disappointed by at least Nelly. I talked with some women. And what I got from some of the women that I talked to is that I was told, like, by one woman, like, he's a big star. He's got all those muscles. You start to craft this image in your head. And when I saw the photograph, not speaking for me, because I haven't seen the photograph or video, and I probably never will see it. I'm not interested. But I was speaking to a female friend, and here's what she told me. This just happened. We had this conversation just last night. And what she told me is that when it comes to Nelly, you have this image in your head. And that she felt like what she saw didn't live up to the BDE that he was giving off. And I'm like, wait a minute. Can it just be confidence? Why has it got to be linked to the size of his genitalia? Who started this? Probably a woman. Big time double standard. But again, absolutely, Sheila. She writes, true, Nate. Absolutely. I already know. Stop judging men by the size of their you know what. We're more than just our genitalia, damn it. We are more than just our genitalia. What makes a man is more than that. Nikki writes, men started BDE. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe you're right. I'm not so sure. Send me a link. Stormy Daniels said Donald Trump has a smaller than Nelly. Is that right? Did she say that on Twitter? Where exactly did she say that? Nikki writes, men brag about their size all the time, and women brag about it all the time. Every woman in the world swears up and down she got the best in the world. All of it can't be true. It all can't be true. Like Alicia Reese said, we are all entitled to our own opinions. All right. Jack, you wrong, man. He writes, Sealbox started BDE. You're so improper, Jack. You are improper with that, man. Overruled. You're overruled. Scratch that from the record. Micah writes, Nate, why does this bother you so much? It's not that it bothers me so much. I'm just saying, I'm just calling out the inconsistency. It's not that I'm not super bothered by it like that. You know what I'm saying? But when I saw all of the ruckus, I started thinking about it. And I'm like, so somebody shaming is okay. That's what I learned. What I learned this week is that there are some types of body shaming that are completely acceptable. And the type that's completely acceptable is when you're body shaming the man about the size of his penis because he put a video out and maybe it was hacked or maybe he thought he had more than what he really had or whatever. And now people got all these critiques. So, me, I these little inconsistencies about our society, that's where I dwell. I had to make this point. If I don't make this point, who else is? You know what I'm saying? Judge men by a higher standard than that, ladies, is all I'm saying. Get your mind out the damn gutter and stop making memes like this. A woman made this meme. You know it. And I know it. Ain't no sense in lying about it. Tanika writes, I've never heard women say how good their vaginas are. Huh? What? Huh? What? Come on now. Women, every woman in the world every woman in the chop shop will swear she got the best. That's just how we are. Just like every man's gonna think he got the best. That's just how we are. You never heard that before. Let me see. Jericho writes, no. There are no inconsistencies. We Men and women judge, get over it. Okay. I'm going to hold you. You know, you like to hold me and remember stuff forever. Something I said 30 years ago. You still keep bringing it up, Lil Sid. I'm going to do the same thing. Kevin is making great points. There's a song called WAP. Wet and the hell, right. Every woman in the chop shop swears she got WAP. Stop lying. Talking about she ain't never heard a woman say she got good vagina. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That is not true. Sister Iris writes that Chief Isaac will be her guest today. Freedom Fridays policing in the pandemic at 4 p.m. Okay, I'll be tapping in. Talking retirement and the CPD. All right, thanks for letting us know that. Absolutely. Chief Isaac will be leaving in what, 18 days, 17 days? The 1st of March, he's out of here. I'm like, wow, who's going to be the new chief? Could it be Captain Danita Pettis? Her and Reynolds taking over the whole damn force. What? Me and Reynolds be the first ones through the door. I say Captain Danita Pettis for the next chief, and Reynolds is the assistant chief. Make it happen. I asked her where Reynolds was. She was like, he's still on night duty. Nikki writes, Nelly thought he had BDE and quickly found out otherwise. See? What? Maybe it's not BDE. Maybe brother just confident. What's wrong with a brother being confident? Just because of who he is, the man that he is, and the way he views himself and the world. That's enough. Jack writes, so a Vienna sausage-sized member has never made a woman in here. Oh, boy. Rachel writes, I am a lady more than a woman. I do not discuss such things. I'm with you at that. I'm cool with that. Jericho writes, keep that same energy, Nate. Let's not forget how bad you and our fellow male choppers drag Lizzo. Now y'all wrapped in y'all feelings. Hold up. I have never drugged Lizzo about a damn thing. What are you talking about? I have always supported Lizzo. Now, it might have been some of these other, caveman mentality dudes in here. But I have never drugged Lizzo ever. I've always supported Lizzo and said she can wear a thong, do whatever the hell she want to do. That's her body, and she has a right to flaunt it and be sexy no matter what other people think. I've always maintained that. So you is wrong. You got me mistaken with some other black male talk show host. It was not me, sis. You ain't never, ever heard me ever say anything negative about her. Ever. If you don't want people to judge your member, don't put it out there. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Brian writes, I think females jump to shave men quickly whenever the opportunity presents itself. That's what it seems like to do. That's what it seems like to me. Where did you get that from, Jerica? I have never said anything about Lizzo at all. You are definitely wrong about that. 100%. Show me the proof. Show me the proof. Brian's right about this. We're going to highlight that. Some women do, not all women, but some women quick. They quick to find, little video come out and it shows something less than what she expected. Oh, they quick to make a meme, to retweet it, to share it, linking all kind of folks. Why are you doing all this? For what? I don't get it. I don't get it. That was Judge Joe Brown talking about Lizzo. She mixing up her black men. You've never heard me say, I don't have no problems with Lizzo. She should do whatever she want to do. Somebody fine and sexy. All this body shaming, I thought it was wrong. I was a guy who told you that the other sister was body shaming. What's her name? Monique. Remember Monique was talking about the women going through the airport? I'm like, wait a minute, sis. You didn't drop a few pounds. Now you want to body shame people? You're wrong for that. I'm across the board, not with the body shaming. And here's Jerica. I call BS. If I had the time to review the show to bring the receipt, I would, but it was so long ago. It has never happened. You are misremembering, Jerica. You are misremembering. It has never happened because I don't feel that way about Lizzo. I don't feel that way at all. You had other people that called into the show. I think Fame used to call into the show and always said she was unhealthy, this, that, and the other. I've always put an end to that. You are wrong, and you owe me an apology. I feel a lawsuit coming. That's what I think. Nikki, there's a difference between judging and shaming. And we're talking about body shaming. Hey, Nathan, will you be disappointed if you watch the Super Bowl halftime and Mary J. Blige doesn't do her swag dance routine? I want to see Mary J. come out, do her swag routine, but I want her to bring a lightsaber as a prop. And so when she's doing her swag routine, I want her to recreate the meme. That would be hilarious and funny. Make that happen. That's right, Anthony. Class action lawsuit. I'm going to get Polly Pastor's lawyer. That's right. A class action lawsuit against Jerica and these other disrespectful, toxically feminine women. Or maybe not. Not sure if that suit would have any legs. But that's what I want to see. Whoever asked me that, I think it was Fame. That's what I want to see. I want to see Mary J. come out, do her swag routine, bring a lightsaber, and then when she's dancing, she can recreate that meme that people like so much or whatever it is, a little short video somebody made. That would be dope. Akeem writes, I feel a wardrobe malfunction coming during Mary J. performance. Huh? I'm not sure we want to. I don't think I want that. Now, that first wardrobe malfunction was dope. Oh, I'll never forget that. That was one of the best Super Bowl halftimes ever. When Janet Jackson came out and she had the pasty and then Justin like tapped it. Oh, my God. It was damn near on a graphic. Woo! Man, that was a good Super Bowl. I was like, I'm glad I watched this Super Bowl. Remember that? Remember she came out with the pasty over her areola and then it was a female dance. Somebody, no, I'm thinking about something else. That was the MTV Awards and Diana Ross and Little Kim. But she did like the uncover thing. It was live on the Super Bowl. And then everybody got mad and, oh my God, a black woman is nude. You know, people went crazy with all these fake ass family values. And Justin Timberlake's show, he really don't care about black women because he distanced himself. And then it took him 20 years to apologize. Remember that? Yeah, remember it was rumors they were dating. Justin and Janet. That was one of the greatest Super Bowl moments of all time. Yep. There was rumors that they were dating, and then everybody got in a family values bag and start criticizing Janet Jackson. And all it was is it's the taboo nature of a black woman's body, and people went too far with it. And I thought it was artistic. Yeah, I thought it was artistic. Let me see if I can find an image on YouTube right now. It was dope. It's one of the best of all time right here. Let's see if I can find that. People, that was interesting. That was it. Let me see if I can find this. Because this won't come up. When they talk about the Super Bowl, this won't come up, but I remember watching this. It was like Janet Jackson gonna do the Super Bowl halftime show. And I'm watching and they dancing. And they got to the part where she stripped off that little thing over her breast. I'm like, what in the hell? I'm glad I watched this. I don't remember how old I was, but I was like, this is the best Super Bowl halftime show ever. Ever. I'm just being honest with you. I was like, this shit is dope. Hold on. See if I can I found an image, but let me see if I can put it in my system real quick and upload it. You can check this out. Y'all might have forgot this, but I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. Let me see if I can do it another way then, because my computer's tripping. Let me see here. There it is. See that? There it is. Let me see if we can put this image in real quick. There it is. That was the image. Remember this? And then everybody thought that Justin was down. This is when he showed that he was really a white dude. Everybody loved him from Justin Timberlake. He had that album out, produced by Timbaland. Remember that? He had the clips on there and everything. And then they had that wardrobe malfunction, and he retreated. And Janet was all by herself, and people was watching. Oh, I was watching the Super Bowl with my kids. My kids saw Janet Jackson's areola. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. I'm like, it was no big deal. She had like a little, I don't know, pasty, like dancers you may see, exotic dancers. She had like that off. So you couldn't really see the areola, right? And if you can't see the areola, what are you really seeing, right? When it comes to breasts? Not a whole lot. People went crazy. They went nuts. Oh my God, Janet Jackson is trying to scar the minds of young people and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, your kids doing dope anyway. They doped out. They're on Pornhub anyway. They went crazy. Can you magnify the picture by 1,000? No, I cannot do that. I will not. Your prurient interest. I will not do that. They went nuts. I blinked and barely saw Janice today. Too much drama. It was harmless. I mean, it was harmless. I remember seeing it. It was no big deal. People went crazy. People went crazy about it. I'm like, Justin Timberlake loves him some black people, boy. He loved him a black producer. He loved a sexy black woman playing the lead in one of his videos. But he sure did get ghost when Janet Jackson was out there all by herself. Now that was a Super Bowl halftime show. Now that's a halftime show right there. Well, last year you had fucking Weeknd, that whack-ass performance. That was weak. So, I mean, we'll see what Dr. Dre do. Maybe he'll bring out, I was going to say something totally inappropriate about his domestic violence history. I mean, should Dr. Dre even be getting this big time global platform anyway? Even though we know he a weak ass punk that like to put his hands on a woman. Any man out there putting his hands on a woman is more than likely a punk. Period. Like point blank. You ain't got to do all of that, bro. Just make your little point and keep on going. You ain't never heard about Dr. Dre stepping to no dude ever. Never. Vlad ain't never heard that. You never seen it on Vlad TV. Jenny Rice loves The Weeknd. Yeah, I love The Weeknd too, but not that performance. Marsha Rice Dre. What? Marsha Rice Dre said in an interview that Snoop and Eminem wanted to pull out their member during their performance. What? Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to end up. Just make sure if you do it that you know what you're doing. See, that's where you got to have a woman in your life that tells you the truth. That's the other thing. You know, Nelly probably got women in his life that's so caught up with him just being who he is. They lying to him about what he really holding. So the brother don't got the right frame of mind. He don't know what he's really got. A woman can do that. A woman can get in a mind's head and make you think all kind of ish, which is one of y'all greatest attributes when it's good, used for good. But when it's used for evil, you got brothers doing dumbish like this. Let me see. Weekend performance was all about his journey through plastic surgery. I take a Mary J. wardrobe malfunction. That's Roots Tafari. Would you? That would make it memorable, right? Listen, folks, that is my time. We've had a lot of fun today. Again, no one man should have this much fun. Jack Rice, Ashanti left him and came back. How many of y'all looking like Ashanti? You don't have to answer that, ladies. Listen, have an excellent rest of your Friday and a great weekend. Who they go Bengals. Hopefully they win the game. I'll stand by what I said. I think that the school being out on Monday. I thought about it more. CPS is out on Monday. It's actually classism. That's a great example of classism because not everybody is going to have the luxury of being off of work on Monday. Like, if you got that luxury, that means you probably got one of them good jobs where you can make them kind of phone calls and you still get paid. You got a lot of people out there that can't take off on Monday. What about their children? So they got to go to work, but their kids going to be at home because the elites in Cincinnati, and that's what's pushing this, let's be honest, what's pushing this whole movement for CPS to be off are the elites in Cincinnati who have the privilege to be home on Monday and still get paid. It's not going to affect anything you do whatsoever. It's elitism. It's classism. You got working class folks out there that can't take off on Monday, and they got young kids. What about the young kids? Don't matter, right? Not everybody, as Kevin is saying, not everybody has job flexibility like that to be off on Monday. It's classism. You know, Cincinnati elites, like most places, are going to fully enjoy the Bengals and the Super Bowl. So it was the elites in Cincinnati that got together and decided, you know what? I'm going to get paid no matter what. Yeah, let's take off. I'm getting paid anyway. Get paid to stay home. Now, who's against staying home and getting paid? Nobody. But I'm just saying, call it for what it really is. And plus, for a failing school district to take off because the Bengals may or may not lose, may or may not win, is utterly preposterous. And then all that talk about, well, they usually get the day off here and they were trying. Well, then that's what you put in the messaging. It's just bad messaging. Oh, my God. Do we have to do everything? We're only just one show. We can't do everything. We can't fix everything. Rachel writes, my company must be CPS because we close on Monday. Who they? Charles writes, my entire company, I'd shutting down the day after Super Bowl because they know there will be a high number of call-ins. All I'm saying is, and I'm going to stand by this, everybody ain't going to be off on Monday. You folks that work at places that are going to be off, you are called privileged with your privileged ass. You're privileged. Know your privilege. You have the privilege to work at an organization where you get to stay home. You get to be off. And guess what? You're still getting a paycheck. Everybody in Cincinnati ain't living like that. Everybody ain't living like that. Oh, I'm just going to take off because the Bengals won. Privilege. But enjoy your privilege. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your privilege. TC writes, I got to work. Exactly. It's going to be thousands of families that's got to work on Monday because they have those kind of jobs, but your kids going to be at home. Who's going to be with the kids? They got to find a way, right? Okay. Listen, have an excellent rest of your Friday. Remember our motto, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. Check out Straight Talk Live Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Edna always has an interesting conversation with you. Start your Sunday right. Keep doing whatever you did. If you have a routine, gosh darn it, keep doing your same routine. Don't jinx the team. Don't mess it up by doing something unusual. Same underwear, same routine. If you worked out last Sunday or the Sunday of the AFC Championship, damn it, you owe it to the team to do the same thing. Whatever you ate during the AFC Championship, darn it, you owe it to the team to do the same thing. Keep your same routine. Don't mess this up. All right, who day? And we'll talk on Monday when all the kids will be home. All right, I'll take care of the children. I'll just entertain them with superlative flows. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Also, as I said before, stop judging men by the size of their penis pictures and videos. Stop it. It's body shaming. Toxic femininity. Have an excellent rest of your weekend. Until next time, I'm Nate Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. Back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw all my pain on percussion. The disgusting, I hear them bragging about that they did and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on a now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now.